For every ton of newspaper recycled by the citizens of Saratoga County, 17 trees are spared from the pulp mill. And isn't that the good news that we want to read about? But recycling newspapers is not just the civically responsible thing to do, it's the law.
Well, recycling is going to play the major role in our solid waste problems during 1990. As you know, the hierarchy now of the state of New York is calling for 40% recycling by 1997, and that's not that far away.
As chairman of the county's Solid Waste Committee, Supervisor McNeary is well aware that the principal value of newspaper recycling is the fact that it saves precious space in our present landfills. Every time that a county resident places a bag of newspapers at one of the 5 county recycling centers, he is starting a process that saves both money and natural resources. Every working day, a truck pulls into the Tagson's paper mill in Mechanicville and dumps tons of newspaper collected from the recycling centers. There they are baled, mixed with other kinds of recycled scrap paper, beaten and emulsified into a pulp.
We've gone from 1 truckload of newspapers per week to 1 truckload of newspapers per day. Today we are using about 7 different items to make up that blend, which newspapers is one of them.
Which means that recycled newspapers currently represent less than 10% of the finished product, which are these industrial-grade paper towels. On a good day, the Tagson's plant in Menands can crank out 12,000 cases of paper towels. Most of them are used in distant places around the United States and even overseas. Some of them actually wind up back in Saratoga County, in with the old, out with the new. It's a neat system. But with newspaper recycling still in its infancy in Saratoga County, the paper mill is anticipating an even greater volume of newsprint coming from the county recycling centers.
We're working with engineering firms now of how to double our present capacity of newspapers. We have on the drawing boards and have purchased a larger pulper to help process the paper and beat them up, and cleaning system to help clean up the product.
The need for a place to put recycled newspapers is likely to grow as the public responds to the new Saratoga County recycling law. So far, most county residents are eagerly cooperating because the private trash collectors are making it easy to separate the rags from the riches.
We've been involved in newspaper recycling for about 10 months, and we've had excellent results. We are currently picking up about 50 tons of newspaper a week in a 4-county area, which, you know, I feel is a substantial amount of material that we're taking out of the landfills.
That level of compliance has apparently been enhanced by the existence of the blue bin. This receptacle, provided by Browning Ferris Industries to its Clifton Park customers, is made of recycled plastic and is the designated method for collecting newspapers. Other private waste haulers, such as those who serve Saratoga Springs, ask residents to place the daily rag in a paper bag. In both cases, a separate collection vehicle picks up newspapers at the curb.
They do not want plastic bags going into with the newspapers. They do not want twine. So there's these little things that people need to know to keep the collection clean so that it is really reusable.
If you have questions about how your family can recycle in your community, call the Saratoga County Recycling Hotline at 583-3084. Recycling has been made a law because the need for conservation of landfill space is becoming critical. Indeed, Saratoga County has become the first county in the state to mandate recycling for all its citizens. John Simone is chairman of the Saratoga County Board of Supervisors and is proud of the fact that his fellow legislators saw the problem looming on the horizon and moved decisively.
Well, Saratoga County has been very fortunate that we have always acted before things become the law. We foresaw all the problems coming in the county, and this legislator has given us full support and have established recycling centers before they have been mandated.
Saratoga County is, as you pointed out, ahead of the game in many respects. They have a recycling program that's very far advanced, and they're dealing with the problem on a county level. Obviously, the more you can take out of the waste stream and reuse in some fashion, the less you have to dispose of, and that's really the bottom line. We're not only, with recycling, we're not only avoiding disposal costs and disposal problems, but we're We're reusing materials that should be used in our society.
The avoidance of landfilling is absolutely essential, with the estimated replacement cost of our present solid waste repositories at upwards of $1 million per acre. And even though newspapers represent only about 7% of the county's waste stream, the cost of recycling is far less than the precious space in a multi-million-dollar landfill. They say one man's trash is another man's treasure, and Saratoga County is turning rejects into resources as it meets the challenge of solid waste into the 1990s.